All right, we are back. This is NHL 20 Franchise Mode Calgary Flames. This is episode number 24. Welcome back to the 2022 Stanley Cup Playoffs, live from Calgary here as we are set to host the Vancouver Canucks in round 2 of the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. So yes, welcome back to our franchise mode here at the Calgary Flames. As I just mentioned, you can see that we are now in the second round. We are set to play the Canucks, as mentioned there, in the Pacific Division Finals. We did end up sweeping the Arizona Coyotes in the first round in the quarterfinals there. Definitely was not expecting to sweep the Coyotes there with that potent offense of theirs that they had with Alex Ovechkin leading the way, Phil Kessel in Arizona as well. They were a pretty stacked team offensively. Clayton Keller, you can go down the list. If you missed it in episode 23, definitely check it out. It was definitely a good series, but the Calgary Flames do end up coming up on the right side of things, obviously taking it in 4 games. There was an overtime win there in game 2, but we were fortunate enough to just get that series over in 4 games and sweep them. So going into that series, definitely did not expect to sweep the Arizona Coyotes. Like I said, they were a very, very dangerous offensive team. We had them beat, I think, when it came to goaltending and defense, if I remember. It's been a while since I did an episode here on the recording, but yeah, I believe we had them beat in those categories. I think we had them beat in special teams as well, so we just had to take advantage of that. But yeah, so it was obviously a good series there for the Flames. If you're a Calgary fan, you can see here Max Domi led the way with us. 8 points through 4 games for Max Domi, so averaging exactly 2 points a game. Why don't we jump in here and just take a look at our player stats right now. We'll also look at our team stats here in a second. I guess we'll take a quick look here at the playoff tree. So you can see there's us. The Canucks did beat the Anaheim Ducks in 7 games, which is huge for us because we've played the Anaheim Ducks for, this would have been the 3rd straight year that we would have played them in the second round. We played them for 2 straight years. We lost both times to the Ducks, including last year in Game 7 in overtime. We do not have a good history when it comes to Anaheim in the Stanley Cup playoffs, dating all the way back to the existence of their franchise. And our playoff history. So definitely happy to see that the Canucks got it done in 7 games against the Anaheim Ducks, so we don't have to face them. But if we do want to get to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2004, it's been a long time in the city of Calgary, we do need to get through our arch rival, the Vancouver Canucks, who we actually have good history against in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we've played the Canucks the last 2 years straight as well as the Ducks. We played the Canucks in the first round the last 2 years, beat them both years. I think we might have swept them the first year. One of the years, I think we swept them. We also beat them in the first round back in 2015, I believe it was. We beat them as well as in the first round in 2004. So I don't know how many years you want to go back and look at our history with the Vancouver Canucks in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but that's at least what the last what did I say? Last year, the year before. 2015 and 2004. So the last 4 times that we've seen the Vancouver Canucks in the Stanley Cup playoffs, we've been on the right side of things, winning all 4 of those series. And I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if we've played them before 2004 since I think we played them in the 90s. So can't remember when, but yeah, basically in the last couple decades, if you want to look at that, the last almost 2.5 decades, we've played the Canucks 4 times in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we've been successful in all 4 series. So that's good news coming into what will be our 5th series against the Canucks in the last couple decades here. Just taking a look there up at the Central, it is Colorado, Minnesota. In the East, it's the Rangers, the Leafs, the Panthers, and the Canadiens as the other 2 series there. I want to look at player stats. That's what I want to do here. All right. Here's a look at how we did in terms of player stats. So 8 points, like I said, for Max Domi, leading the way. 1 goal, 7 assists in that opening round versus the Coyotes. He was on fire, as was Johnny Gaudreau, though. 5 points there. 2 goals and 3 assists for Johnny. Dylan Dubé really stepping up with 5 points as well in that series. 2 goals, 3 assists. Sean Monahan, 5 points as well. Michael Backlund just been playing lights out as of late. 4 points in 40 games. 3 points there for Elias Lindholm. Oliver Shillington, Matthew Tkachuk also picking up 3 points, and then onward down here. So there's Patrice Bergeron, who we acquired at the trade deadline. Remember, he does go with 1 goal so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs for us. Don't forget Patrice Bergeron. We acquired him for this exact time of year. And so there's just a quick look at what he did in the regular season with us. Through 19 games, he put up 10 points plus 6. But again, it's his it's mostly his three-way game. The fact that he plays in all three zones, his face-offs are absolutely lights out. Where's his face-off percentage? 63.67 in the face-off dot there. I just want to take a quick look here at the playoff stats. I think I clicked on playoff stats. Here we go. Playoff stats. He's 58.44 in the face-off dot. So still getting it done there. I'm just taking a look at some of his other stats here. Shooting at 55.6%. Obviously not a lot for a guy like Patrice Bergeron, but it's still getting the job done. Like I said, 1 goal in 4 games, and obviously a +1 rating. That's all you can ask for from Patrice Bergeron. So, 84 overall. Still bolsters our center depth, makes us a really well deep team and well-rounded team, I should say there. Andrew Mangiapane, a little bit quiet in the first round after we re-signed Mangiapane there to, I believe it was a 2-year extension a couple episodes ago, after he put up another almost, almost a 30-goal season, 29 goals, eclipsed the 60-point plateau for the first time in his career. He had 3 really good, solid years for the Calgary Flames in terms of the regular season, but in the playoffs, just 1 goal right now to show through 4 games. Last year, he did put up 7 points, as you can see, in 12 games. But we'll see if he can maybe do a little bit more here in the postseason here in the second round. So just a quick look there at some of our players. There's our captain Giordano down there with a -1 rating. So we're going to look at the Vancouver Canucks here in a second, but I just really quickly want to go to team stats. I don't know how accurate these are going to be because we only did play 4 games. A lot of the other teams here that you see played 7 games, if not 5, 6. I think we were the only series, So you can see every team here in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, with the exception of us, obviously, and the Arizona Coyotes played 4 games. We were the only series to be that quick. We did have a week and about a day off until the second round starts. Again, these stats might not be super accurate because we have very little games played compared to all the other teams. But we'll just take a quick look at where we rank in terms of goals for, goals against, and special teams. So let's just take a quick look at goals for. In terms of goals for, we sit about halfway again, 16 goals, but again in 4 games, so not too accurate. We're averaging, this might be better, goals for per game percentage. Percentage here. So we can see here that we do lead with about 4 games per game there. 4 goals per game, I should say, again, in just 4 goals. That makes sense. 4 times 4 is 16. That's what we've got there in goals for. Let's take a look here at goals against per game, and where we sit. The Coyotes obviously the worst. We have the 5th best goals against. Now you can see there's the Vancouver Canucks with 2.14. So slightly better goals against than us. Goals against percentage, I should say. Where are they in goals for per game? I just want to take a quick look here. So they're a pretty good defensive team. There's us at the top. Where's Vancouver? So they're about in the second half here, averaging 2.43 goals per game in that series against the Anaheim Ducks. So we might be a little bit more offensive, an offensive team than they are, but they're getting the job defensively. So we'll take a look again at their team and their stats here in a second. Let's just take a quick look at how the power play percentage looked like for all the teams involved. Us and Vancouver not in the top half. Let's take a look at the bottom half here. We did not score a power play goal in that first round. Okay, so we did go 0 for 13 in the first round. The Vancouver Canucks went 2 for 15. So they get 2 power play goals for 15. We get 0 in 13, I should say. That's 0 and 13 for us. They go 13.3%. That's not a good power play. Ours wasn't much better, obviously. So we struggled a little bit in terms of the PP. Let's take a look at the PK here quickly. Our PK ranked pretty good, 100%. Okay, so we're tied for the best PK. I was like, we're 4th, and then I looked over at the percentage. So we killed off every PK that we had. 0 power play goals against in 14 tries. So obviously the Florida Panthers had 22 against. They killed off everyone. But we had the second best PK, I guess you could say, with Toronto as well, 0 and 14. The Vancouver Canucks, their PK looks like this, about halfway, 84.6. Not bad. They did allow 4 power play goals against on 26 tries. So again, it's kind of hard to gauge these stats because there's so little in terms of games played. If it was a larger sample size, they played 7 games, we played 4. But just a quick look there at the team stats. Now let's jump right into player stats, and then we'll look at Vancouver's lines, and then we'll jump right in, obviously, here to round number 2. So let's take a quick look here at excuse me, at the Canucks. So, so that's us. Like I said, we took a look at our stats. Where am I going here? Would have been faster to go straight up. But I went down. All right, so here's Vancouver. So let's take a look here at how we stack up. So they're led by Brock Besser, 6 points in 7 games. So we actually had Domi, who led us with 8 points in just 4 games. They don't even have a player that got as many points as Domi. 6 points is the highest they got through 7 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. But all that could mean is maybe their offense is a little bit more spread out as well. So yeah, there's Besser leading the way with +3 rating. Bo Horvat, the captain, 5 points there, goal and 4 assists. Louis Eriksson, 4 points for some reason. He's doing good with them. There's Alex Pietrangelo, the top defenseman, who they got in free agency. I think it was last summer, the summer before, one of the summers. There's Elias Pettersson. No goals in the playoffs yet for Elias Pettersson. Just 4 assists there through 7 games. Anton Roussel up there with 3 goals. I believe he's tied with Besser for the most amount of goals in that series. There's Jake Buchanan, 3 points, and then onward, Michael Ferland, the former Flame, 3 points as well. Just a quick look down here. Quinn Hughes, just 2 points in that opening series. So just a quick look there. Let's just take a look at how their goaltending did. We didn't look at our goaltending, but we'll just look at theirs. So they're led by Thatcher Demko, who did play all 7 games. 4-2-0 was his record. It looks like maybe Bernier came in relief a couple times there in the playoffs, but 9-4-0, 195 goals against. Wow. So you can see why they are such a good team in terms of goals against, why they're a heavy, probably a heavy defensive team, and they keep the puck out of their net, but they have strong goaltending. So that's going to be the key for us. We have to find a way to break down Thatcher Demko and their goaltending. Even Bernier, again, very small sample size and probably 2 games that he didn't even play the full games in, but he goes 9-3-1 with a 189 goals against. But look at Thatcher Demko's stats. He's obviously their clear-cut starter, and he goes 9-4-0 with a 195 goals against. I just want to quickly look at where we sit compared to that now that I just see Demko's numbers, because we're definitely not that good, but Jordan Binnington definitely played good for us there. 9-3-0, 206, so not as good as Thatcher Demko's numbers, but still really good. I mean, 4-0-0 as the record for Binnington in his first season as a Calgary Flames goalie in the playoffs, and still putting up really good numbers, like again, 9-3-0, 206, but Demko, he was so much better than that, 195, and what was his goals? Here we go. What was his? 9-4-0. So slightly better than Talbot, than Binnington and all those stats. But he's an elite goalie, and it's going to be a challenge to try and to beat him for sure. So let's just let's take a look now at their lines, and then we'll jump right in. So let's see how we stack up against them. First of all, we will look at their lines, and then we'll look at our lines quickly and make any changes if we need to. Vancouver Canucks. All right. Let me get a drink here. All right, sorry. So JT Miller on the top line there, 84 overall. Elias Pettersson, 92 in the middle there. Brock Besser, 89. That's 89, yeah. Sorry. So that's a pretty elite top line. I mean, 92, 89. You got 2 guys that are pretty much a 90 overall, and then JT Miller there in the mid 80s. Not bad. Michael Ferland also an 84 as well. 88 for Bo Horvat, 79 for Anton Roussel. It's an all right second line, very strong with Horvat there already. They're looking pretty strong in their 2 center positions here. Adam Gaudette going 80 overall in the third center. They probably wanted to maybe boost their center depth at the deadline. I don't know if I really have Gaudette as a solid third line center on a team that wants to be a cup contender. Virtanen 80, Justin Bailey 80. That's not a very strong third line. That'd be a very strong fourth line. And then a look at their actual fourth line is Louis Eriksson. Again, Louis Eriksson has how many points in this series? So he's doing something right on that fourth line. 76, 78 for Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and Brandon Sutter. 79. So that's a pretty average fourth line. Not a very good third line. Like I said, an okay second line. They got 2 good 1-2 punches in the center position with Pettersson and Horvat. Pretty good top line, though, with Miller, Pettersson, and Besser. I think we still have them beat, obviously, but they have a speed in the goaltending department. I'm sure of it, and maybe even defense here. Let's take a look at it. Quinn Hughes, 84. Alex Pietrangelo, 91. That's a scary top unit, knowing how good Hughes can be. You go down here to Adam Ginning. He is 82 overall. Myers, 83. So, all right, top 4. Could be stronger. Ulevi and Stretcher. That's a pretty strong third pairing there, 81 for both of them. But again, they're getting it done in terms of defense. So I just want to see, are these guys all defensive defensemen? Where do they rank in that? Two-way defender for Stetcher, two-way defender for Ulevi, two-way defender for Myers, two-way defender for Ginning. My goodness, two-way defender for Pietrangelo, and an offensive defenseman for Quinn Hughes. So everybody down here is two-way defenders except for Quinn Hughes, who's an offensive defenseman. So they have a really good defensive core that can play in both ends of the ice with those two-way defenders. No defensive defensemen on this team. I don't think we're much better in that category. We have more offensive defensemen than I think we do two-way defenders. But nice to see that, or interesting to see, I should say, that their entire defensive core is almost all two-way defenders. Maybe it's working for them. That's why they are where they are. So look quickly at their power play unit: Horvat, Pettersson, Miller, Besser, Pietrangelo. That's a very, very scary top unit. If they're throwing that out at us, I'll definitely be scared. But our PK again was really good in the opening round against the Coyotes. Hopefully we can shut down this unit. Again, we faced Ovechkin and Kessel and Keller, and I forget who they had. Oliver Ekman-Larsson and somebody else on the point in that power play unit in Arizona. So I mean that pretty much rivals here what the Canucks are sending out. I think it's still scarier facing Ovechkin and Kessel on the flanks with Clayton Keller in the middle. But this is still a really good unit. I mean, don't get me wrong. This top unit here for Vancouver. Second unit, a lot weaker with Ferland, Gaudette, Vertan, and Ulevi, and Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes, again, just 84. He's going to get better, though. He should probably be on their top unit in the future. Pettersson and Horvat. All right, so this is 4 and 4. I don't know why I'm looking at that. PK, just want a quick look here. Horvat, Sutter, Myers, Pietrangelo, Bellemare. Okay, yeah. PK 3. And then what am I wanting to look at here? Goaltending. That's the last thing I want to look at. So yeah, 86 overall for Thatcher Demko, and then 81 for Jonathan Bernier. So that's where they stack. But again, Demko is just playing out of his mind right now. Doing really well for the Canucks. So that's a quick look at their team. Again, they are a defensive first team in terms of their stats. At least that's what it says. They do have very, two-way defensive core, a very elite goalie. Maybe not as strong up front. But hopefully that's where we can take advantage of them, is outscore them. So here's a look at our lineup compared to theirs. 90, 91 for Monahan, 83 for Mangiapane. That's how we finish the series. Kachuk, Bergeron, Lindholm. On that second line. Much stronger than their second line. Our top line is probably similar. Our second line is much stronger. Third line's much stronger. We got a very deep team up front with 84 Dubé, 83 Backlund, and 86 Domi. I mean, really, Domi should be in your top 6, but with the addition of Bergeron, he's also in your top 6. And again, Domi's leading us with 8 points there. So we'll continue to tweak our lines. Right now, this is how we finished the first round. So I'm going to leave it as is. Mangiapane maybe not playing as well right now. If he continues to struggle and Domi's doing good, we'll flip him and Domi easily. We can do that. As well as Lindholm. We can even flip Lindholm down here and put Mangiapane there. So we got lots of options. Obviously, with our top 9 our whole top 9 is very elite. Lots of combinations here. Lots of guys that can play center. Domi, Backlund, Dubé are all center on that third line. Lindholm's a center. Bergeron's a center. Monahan's a center. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 center in our top 9. Very versatile down there. Or up there, I should say, down here. Bennett, Kopp, and Versteeg. That's probably similar to what they got on their fourth line. Hanifin, Anderson is what we have there. Giordano, Shillington, Gunnarsson, DeMello. I just want to see how our defensive core looks towards them. So we have a defensive defenseman. We have 2 defensive defensemen in our third pairing. Offensive defenseman, Shillington. 2-way defender in Gio. 2-way defender in Rasmus, and 2-way defender in Hanifin. So we actually have 3 2-way defenders here. That's better than I thought. Shillington's our only offensive defenseman, technically, and then 2 defensive defensemen. So, I mean, we should be better rounded out than them, having a little bit of offenses. And again, just because that's what they're listed doesn't mean like a guy like Rasmus Anderson and Mark Giordano can't be offensive defensemen. If I was doing this, I would probably at least list Rasmus Andersson as an offensive defenseman, and probably even Gio, maybe. Hannafin's probably more of a two-way defender. But yeah. So I mean, I think we're okay when we stack up against their defense. I think we're still stronger, but it'll be interesting to see here. I just want to take a look. Our power play, like I said, our power play. We did not get a power play goal. So our PK did good, our PP didn't. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start by switching up our power play going into that series. So let's put Johnny up here. Domi's playing good, so we'll keep him there. Monahan, Kachuk. I'm just trying to think here. Let's maybe put Giordano in up top here. Should we keep Kachuk in there? Should we do it like that? Yeah, because, I mean, Lindholm's not playing, as good as he could. Same with Mangiapane. At least they're not putting up the numbers right now. Bergeron's just got one goal. We'll try that for now. Johnny, Monty, Domi. Domi's our hottest player. Kachuk, Giordano. So we'll just try a minor tweak here to our, as well as we move Johnny from the flank to the left side and move Kachuk to the flank here. Just try and switch something up here, see if we can get our power play going somehow. PK was fine. It was really good. I mean, we have an elite PK with Bergeron. The addition of Patrice Bergeron was just unbelievable throughout our lineup. He just completes our team so well. Obviously, our number one PK there, Backlund, Monahan, Lindholm as well. So yeah, I think we're fine there. Just go down here to goalies. Binghamton, who's also an 86 there. So I think we obviously still have actually 86 and 81. That's exactly what they have as well in Demko and Bernier. We have that in Binghamton and Talbot. So the goaltending is equal on paper, 100%. It's just for some reason not Talbot. Why do I keep saying Talbot? Demko is playing a little bit better than Binghamton in that opening round. But again, small sample size for the Calgary Flames, only 4 games played. So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not concerned about matching up here against the Vancouver Canucks. I think we are stronger in almost every category, if not every category. But I still expect it to be a tight series. I mean, they didn't finish too much further behind us, I believe, in the Pacific Division standings. Let's take a quick look at it. Trying to think, where did they finish? All right, so yeah, they finished actually second. Yeah, so there you go. They finished 5 points behind us there in the Pacific Division standings for the division title. So yeah, not that far behind us. So that's why I'm expecting it to be a very, close series, as well as they did pretty good there against Anaheim, a good Anaheim team as well in the opening round. So despite maybe being better than them in a lot of areas on paper, I still expect it to be a tight series. So excuse me. Let's jump right in then. Without further ado, let's jump right in here to round 2 against the Canucks. So like I said, it's been a long time, 16, 17, 18-ish years since the Calgary Flames made it past the second round. So almost 20 years, almost 2 decades since we've made it to a conference final. I mean, like I said, we've been stuck, facing Anaheim for so many years and not being able to get by Anaheim. But now that's not a problem. For the first time ever, the Ducks are not in our way. It's the Canucks who, like I said, we've beaten in the last 4 playoff series straight in the last couple of decades. I mean, we have a good record against them. We just need to get it done one more time against them to make it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2004. So it's definitely not going to be easy, but this is a good chance for the Calgary Flames, in a window year too, to really go all the way here. But first things first is we still have to worry about where we are. We're in the second round. We still need to get by the Canucks before we can even think of playing for the Stanley Cup Finals and the Western Conference title. So let's jump right in here. Game 1 from the Saddledome, Calgary and Vancouver. Let's get right into this series. As mentioned, Calgary with a really good history now in the last couple decades here against the Vancouver Canucks when it comes to the Stanley Cup Playoffs. So here we are. We're in Game 1 already. First look at our PK as the Canucks get in a really power play in Game 1, and it looks like we kill it off about halfway through the first period here. And shots are 9-5 for us. Trying to get some offense going here, Calgary, and it looks like we are going to go 20 minutes without a score in game number 1. Let's keep this rolling in period number 1. Let's keep this rolling in period number 2. Here we go. Come on, Calgary. We need a good start to this series here. It's not going to be an easy series at all. All right, there it is. The first goal of the series, and it's the Calgary Flames opening it up at home. Noah Hanifin beating Tetra Demko here in the second period, and that's a huge goal to get us up 1-0 in this series. They do tie it up with former Calgary hitman Jake Virtanen beating Binghamton there, 1-1 now. About a minute to go here in the second. And that's how 40 minutes will end in game number 1. So Hanifin scoring for Virtanen for the Canucks. Split going into the third period. Huge third period here for the Calgary Flames here to open up this series. Come on, Calgary. Another look at the PK, and they score. So our PK that was perfect in the Stanley Cup playoffs has officially let a goal against, and it was Quinn Hughes on the power play. But then we get a big response from Patrice Bergeron. That is a huge goal. Another PK here. Lots happening in this third period. Again, Hughes scoring on the power play early, and then it's Patrice Bergeron for the Calgary Flames. That is exactly why we acquired him for this time of year. Big goal there by Bergeron. 2-2, and of course, it's going overtime here in Game 1. So, I mean, this is a massive overtime. I mean, this is going to set the tone for the entire series. We have to be on the right side of this. Come on, Calgary. We have to take a 1-0 lead here. Here we go. Overtime in Game 1. Come on, Flames. We got 30 shots on net already. Oh, my God. Huge PK here. Huge PK. Big PK there in overtime. And then they score. Crap. All right, so it looked like it was starting off good there for the Calgary Flames, and then we kill off the power play there in overtime, but Captain Bo Horvat scores in overtime, almost about halfway through the first overtime, and the Canucks take the first game of this series. All right, not what you want to see. Very close game, but obviously we did not come out on the right side of things here in game number 1. Just take a look at our ice time leaders here in game 1 here. So yeah, Hanifin, Giordano leading the way there. Bergeron leading the way with our forward group as expected. Monahan as well. Rasmus Anderson, Valimaki, Lindholm, and downward. Let's just take a quick look here. Quite a few guys in the pluses. Giordano and Anderson struggling a little bit there on that second pairing. We can maybe take a look at that. And Binghamton goes 8-9-7. Not the best night for Jordan Binghamton. So we need to try and turn things around here going into game 2. So again, not a bad game for opening game, but we obviously we need that victory there. So we're down 1-0 already in this series here. So just take a quick look here at our lines. Our PK did really well. I just want to go here to our defensive core, and Giordano Anderson struggling just a little bit here. I think I'll keep them together there, though. We'll just see what they can do here in game number 2, despite being -2 in that one. I don't know if we really had a good look at the power play there, so we'll keep that together. Yeah, we won't make any lineup changes here. We'll just keep things as they are right now. But we definitely need an answer here going into game number 2. So, yeah, we got to respond here. Nothing out of Max Domi there, who leads the way with 8 points through 5 games now. But we need to find some answers here. A little bit more offense would help for sure here in the game number 2. All right, so back at home, we have to obviously take the split going into Vancouver. We cannot allow the Canucks to come out 2-0 going back home for them. And with a 2-0 lead. So we obviously have to take this split. This is as pretty close to a must-win right now for the Calgary Flames here. I mean, we're pretty, we're in the second round. This is a make-or-break time now in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We can't be going down 2-0 to any team at this point here. So we have to obviously get back here. And there's a big goal by our superstar, Johnny Gaudreau, to open the scoring here in Game 2. So just like we did in Game 1, we open the scoring this time in the first period on a goal by Johnny Gaudreau. 1-0 Flames. We got to find a way to hang on to these leads here and maybe build off of these leads here a little bit. All right, so 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. 12-6 are the shots for us. Good opening frame there for the Flames, but we need to find a way to, like I said, build off of that and continue to go here. So a second period here. Here we go. Calgary, come on. Let's get some more goals here. Oh, crap. Another PK. Big PK there. We're taking way too many penalties in this series so far. I don't know why. An abbreviated power play, then they get a power play, and it looks like a 4-on-4, and it looks like they score. Alex Pietrangelo once again tying this game up. Exactly what I said. We're not building off of our leads. We're getting the leads in this series, but we're not building off of them. So we need to do a better job here. The Canucks keep coming and tying this thing up. We got to find a way. And I don't know what's going off the penalties here. But here we go. Huge third period for the Flames. Come on. There's another penalty and another power play for the Vancouver Canucks. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Fuck sakes. And then they score. Justin Bailey. Again, and it's not even on the power play. It's just momentum they get off of the power play. Here's a 5-on-3 for Vancouver. Come on, Calgary. My God, what's going on here? 4 minutes to go here in the third period. Come on, Flames. We need this one. Come on, Calgary. Yes, there it is. Matty Tkachuk. Massive goal. Just blowing the roof off the Saddledome as the sea of red erupts. Tkachuk tying it up with 53 seconds to go. That could be huge. That could be huge. 53 seconds away from going down 2-0. But it's not over yet. We're once again, for the second straight game, going to overtime. So here we go. We have to take this overtime win. We need the split going back to Vancouver. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Please get the overtime goal here, Flames. Come on. Oh, my God. Yes, there it is. We do get it. All right, on our 31st shot of the game, it's a Rasmus Andersson, a little bit of razzle-dazzle, and that is a great way to end game number 2. All right, so a huge comeback here in game number 2. Again, we go up 1-0, but we don't build off that lead. The Canucks score 2 straight, but 53 seconds left, and it is one of the biggest goals Matthew Tkachuk's ever scored. A huge goal there, and the Flames obviously getting the overtime winner off the stick of Rasmus Andersson. Definitely the biggest goal he scored. A good response there by Rasmus Andersson and Giordano. Andersson does go -1 in this one. Third in ice time behind Valimaki Hanifin, but a good response there for that pairing. I wanted to keep them as is. Bergeron, another 2-point night here for Patrice Bergeron, quietly having a good game, as well as Elias Lindholm. Johnny Gaudreau getting a goal in there as well. Binghamton, a much better night, 9-3-1 there, facing 29 shots. So we'll take it. Again, both games have been in overtime. Both games have been really close, but we had to take that split, obviously going back to Vancouver. So it's a brand new series. It's now down to a best of 5, obviously, and we need to find a way to get the next 3 wins here. Preferably in a row would be nice. Let's end this off as soon as possible. But again, anybody's series up to this point. So we're going to shift the series over to Rogers Arena in Vancouver. And just taking a quick look here at the other Western Conference series there. Colorado, Minnesota split at 1 as well. 1-1 Toronto and New York. 2-0 Panthers over the Montreal Canadiens. So let's we might jump right in again. I don't think we really need to make any lineup changes. They've been 2 very close games. So yeah, we'll jump right in. I'm just trying to think, how many power plays have we had? Because our power play hasn't. I don't think we've scored a power play goal yet in this series. Yeah, which means I don't think we scored one at all in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. So yeah, let's take a quick look at it. Actually, where am I going here? I just want to look at stats. I can't remember how many power plays we had after the first round, but just want to take a quick look here. Where are we? Power play, yeah, so we are still 0 for 15, so we haven't scored. I think we had 14, so maybe we've only had 1 power play opportunity. Now, we did have a couple 4-and-4s there. I think they're in game 2. But we've got to be better on special teams there. Our PK still has been pretty good despite letting in that 1 power play goal against to the Canucks in, what was it, game 1 or game 2. But we still need to be better on special teams here if we're going to beat the Vancouver Canucks. All right, so here we go. The series has shifted to the Lower Mainland for game number 3. Here we go. Live from Vancouver. There's our first look at the power play, and we score. It is our first power play goal of the Stanley Cup Playoffs, and it's Matthew Tkachuk, followed by a goal by Dylan Dubé, and then one by Anton Roussel. It's 2-1 early in Game 3. And now look at the PK. Come on, Calgary. We kill that off. Come on, Calgary. We got to find a way to not let them get momentum after that as well. For some reason, every time we kill a penalty, we also give them momentum. So despite not letting them score on the PK, they get the momentum somehow, which is weird because it should be the other way around. We should be the ones getting the momentum off of a penalty killed. So yeah, quite a strong opening period here, or a quick opening period, I should say. Power play goal there, Matthew Tkachuk. First of the playoffs for the Flames. Dylan Dubé getting a quick goal, just even seconds later, but then Anton Roussel. So we got to find a way, like I said, to build off of these 1-goal leads. We have a 2-1 lead here going into the second period. We got to build off of this and hang on to it. Come on, Calgary. Another look at our PK, and it kills it off there. Do we give them momentum? We get a power play here. Come on, Flames. And we go 1 for 2 on the power play. And then they score. See, that's the momentum that we should have after our penalty kill. And then they score again. Yule Levy followed by Virtanen. Fuck, and that's a power play goal for them. Crap, all right. So yeah, we're not winning the special teams battles right now. There's a look at a power play for us and nothing. All right, so not a good second period there. Like I said, they get the momentum off of a power play that we could have went up 3-1. They score on the momentum after by Uolevi, excuse me. Ollie Uolevi there, and then Jake Virtanen getting his second of the series on the power play. And that's not good. All right, so we're down 3-2 going into the third, but we came back in game 2. We can do it again here in game number 3. So here we go. We need another third period comeback, down by 1. Here's a look at the power play. Come on, Flames. Fuck. All right, 1 for 3 in this game so far in the power play. Come on, Flames. 1 for 4 so far in this series. And there's Elias Lindholm. Huge goal to tie this one up about midway through the third. Come on, Calgary. Build off of that. Build off of that. Come on, Flames. Yes, Elias Lindholm, another huge goal. And that's a power play goal. Make it 2 for 5 on the power play. I'm going to try my best to keep track of our power play here. So 2 for 5 in the series on the power play. 2 third period goals by Elias Lindholm. 1 on the power play, which is the game winner. And the Flames come from behind yet again for the second straight game in the third period this time. And 41 shots, by the way, on Thatcher Demko. And it was only a matter of time before some of them started to leak through. And a massive third period by Elias Lindholm, who's been really quiet so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Calgary Flames. So this is a good breakout game for number 28 there for the Flames. So I'll just take a quick look at their 2-point night for Lindholm, Hanifin. Just looking here. Monahan a 2-point night as well. Mangiapane there. Yeah, pretty good down there. Looking at our players, 8.55 for Jordan Binnington. Not bad. I mean, could be a little bit better, but right now, as long as we're getting the win. So 2 for 5 on the power play. I think we go 1 for 4, something like that. 2 for 5. So do we go 2 for 4? I don't know. I'm trying to keep track the best I can, but I think we're 2 for 5 so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, we can actually just take a look again here at our stats. The reason I want to take or keep track of this is because, I mean, if our power play is not working, I want to switch it up before it's too late. Get something going here. So let's just take a look here. We are 2 for 22. 2 for 5 in this series. Okay, 2 for 22 overall. In terms of power plays, power play goals, power play. Yeah, okay. So 2 for 5 in this series, which is 2 for 22 overall, which is obviously we did not do good in that first round against the Coyotes. So back to this one anyway. So we have a 2-1 series lead as we head into Game 4. Let's sim up here to Game 4. A massive Game 4 ahead of us here. We've reeled off 2 straight wins, 1 in overtime, 1 in regulation here in Games 2 and 3 respectively. Now we have a huge chance to take a 3-1 lead here in Game 4. They usually say Game 4 is the biggest game of any series, as it really is a deciding factor. Let's hope that we are the ones on the right side of this here. If we could take a 3-1 series lead, that would be huge. But on the flip side, if they take a 2-2 series tie, it's a brand new series once again. So we can't give them any life right now. We've got them in a slightly good position right now. We need to take advantage of that and put them down 3-1. So here we go. Game 4 from Vancouver. Big game here for the Flames if we can take a 3-1 series lead. So here we go. Underway in Game 4 from Rogers Arena. Come on, Flames. We need this one. Let's get another opening goal here in this series, or in this game. Nothing so far through half of the first. I'm going to take a drink here. My God. All right, so we do open the scoring in this Game 4 with 2 minutes 37 seconds left. Max Domi, who was huge in that first round against his former team in the Coyotes, quiet so far through 4 games, but finally gets on the score sheet here, and that might just be his 9th point of the Stanley Cup playoffs there for Max Domi. Huge goal for Domi to put us up 1-0. But again, it's how do we respond? Do we hang on to these 1-goal leads? Do we build off of them? We haven't been doing such a good job of that so far in these playoffs, especially in this round. Here's a huge PK for the Flames to open up the second. Come on, huge PK. And again, it's the momentum after, as long as we're not giving the Canucks momentum after. All right, huge PK there for the Flames. We need to get the momentum after that huge PK. Come on, Calgary. All right. Huge goal. There we go. Dylan Dubé, I was just going to say 3 minutes ago, Dylan Dubé scores, but then Elias Pettersson responding immediately. So, I mean, we'll take it. It would have been nice to go up 2-0 and get out of that second period up 2-0, but they do get a late one from Elias Pettersson. We are still up 2-1 after 40. We have a really good chance of getting a 3-1 series lead here. We just need to hang on for 20 more minutes here. Come on, Calgary. Do not let the Canucks get back in this series. Come on, Flames. 2-1 here. Here we go. Fucking there we go. Exactly what I was saying. They get a power play goal from Brock Besser, his first of the series. And now they have another power play. And now we get a power play. Come on, Calgary. Build off of it. Yes! Sean Monahan. It's not a power play goal, but it is a huge goal after the power play. It looks like it is in regulation, and Gio adds an empty net. The Flames will take it 4-2. Wow. All right, so that's huge. So Monahan, like I said, looks like it was not a power play goal. His first of the series. It's a massive one. It's another game winner for Sean Monahan coming in Game 4. Giordano icing the puck into the empty net in Vancouver, and we have a 3-1 series lead on the Vancouver Canucks. That's what you want to see. That is what you want to see, especially after Besser tied it there. Not looking good after Besser tied it, but we do respond. All right, so you can almost count that as a power play goal. It's probably from the momentum generated on the PP. So right now, I won't make any changes to our power play. But huge goal there by Monahan. Looking pretty good. Good night for a few of our players. -1 for Hanifin, Valimaki, our top pairing. 9-2-6, again, a better response game there by Jordan Binghamton. And we'll take it. Like I said, that is Game 4s are massive. So Domi actually had 2 points so far in the series. That was his second point, up to 10 points now in 8 games for Max Domi, who still leads us. But yeah, that, like I said, that's huge. To go up 3-1, Game 4s are deciding factors for this exact reason. That is a huge win for the Flames. We have a chance to finish them off in 5. Not going to be easy because the Canucks are now fighting for their lives, but we do have a chance to finish them off in 5, which is huge. Looks like the Panthers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals with a sweep over the Montreal Canadiens, 2-2 in the other series there, and 2-2 between Colorado and Minnesota. So let's keep our lines the same. Like I said, I think our power play is fine for now. Could be better for sure, but it's not bad right now, and it's generating momentum again. That Monahan goal not counted as a power play, but you can bet that was generated from the momentum of a full power play there. If it wasn't a power play goal, it looked like it came literally probably seconds after. All right, so let's jump into game number 5. We're back in the Dome. We got home ice here in game 5. We have a chance to book our ticket to the Western Conference Finals on home ice for the first time since 2004. And funny enough, back in 2004, it was on home ice. You'll remember the Martin Gelinas famous Game 6 goal over the Detroit Red Wings. I've got a picture of it right here hanging up on my wall, autographed by Marty Gelinas himself. One of the biggest and most famous goals in Calgary Flames franchise history when he put it into that empty net in overtime. Marty Gelinas. And the place just erupted back in 2004. That's the last time the Flames went to the Western Conference Finals, was off that goal, and it was a famous one. I don't know if we'll get as big and as famous of a goal as that one set up by Jerome McGinley to Gelinas, but it will be huge if we can find a way to kind of replicate that all these years later here and get back to the Western Conference Finals. It's hard to believe that that's the last time the Flames have been to the Western Conference Finals, and here we are in the year of 2022, and we're looking to get back there. But like I said, when we looked at it prior to this episode, we haven't had a lot of postseason success in the last, ever since 2004, really. A lot of first-round exits in the years that followed. A lot of years where we missed the playoffs, then we got back to it, and a lot of running into the Anaheim Ducks the last, decade or so. But now we have a chance to get back to the Western Finals and play for a ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's the biggest thing. So again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because it's still only up 3-1. We still need that 4th win to get ourselves to the Western Conference Finals. So we do need that last win here against the Canucks, and we have a chance to take it here in Game 5. So let's get right into it. And yeah, like I said, back in 2004, it was in Game 6 that we booked our ticket. This time we can do it a game earlier in game number 5. So let's jump right in. Yeah, so it's been 18 years, obviously. 18 years since the Flames have been to the West Finals, and since that goal from Martin Gelinas in Game 6. So let's jump right in. Huge PK to start off Game 5. Come on. Oh my God, 5-on-3. Big PK there. Big PK by the Flames to start this game off. That's massive. We got to get back in it, and they score. It's the former Flame Michael Ferland. Oh, that's a dagger by Ferland. And then Justin Bailey, 2-0 early Canucks. Ugh. And then Mark Giordano scores. Second of the series for Gio. That is a huge goal from the Flames captain in what could be his final year in Calgary colors. Massive goal for Mark Giordano. I know it's only one goal, but gives us a little bit of life in this Game 5, which we need. Shots 19-8, a huge domination by the Canucks in this opening period. They did have a 5-on-3 to start the game off, but we need to respond better than that after killing off those penalties, because neither of these Canucks goals were power play goals. So let's jump back into period number 2 here. Come on, Calgary. Big response here. Let's tie this thing up. Huge PK, huge PK. Oh, my God. Stop taking penalties, Calgary. Come on, let's get a goal here. Let's tie this up, Calgary. Come on, halfway through the middle frame here. Still 2-1 Canucks. There it is, Matthew Tkachuk. He's been massive in this series. And then Patrice Bergeron. Calgary takes a 3-2 lead here in the second period. Come on, Calgary. Hang on. Hang on here. Come on. All right, so 40 minutes and the Flames steal a 3-2 lead. So Tkachuk, is that his third or fourth of the series? I don't know. I think he was, I can't remember, he was quiet in that opening round against the Coyotes, but he's really picked it up here in the second round. This is the time of year, like I said, you want to see Tkachuk show up. Again, it doesn't matter what, I know we've talked about this a lot in the past, it doesn't matter what Tkachuk does in the regular season. This is when we want to see him show up here. Patrice Bergeron as well, that's his, second of the series, and he's been piling up a lot of points as well in this series. He continues to quietly be a really good player for us, and that's why we got him at this time of year. We need him in these series. Huge goal there by Bergeron. Will it stand as the game winner? It's not going to be easy because there's still 20 minutes to go and the Canucks are fighting for their lives. But if we can hang on, and go to the Western Conference Finals, come on, Calgary. All right, here we go. Final period of regulation here of Game 5. Come on, Flames. We've got a 3-2 lead. We're so close to the Western Finals. Come on. 10 minutes away here. Come on, Calgary. Hang on. Hang on. Come on. Oh, my God. Big PK. Big PK. Big PK. All right, here we go. 5 minutes. Come on, Calgary. Come on. Big PK with a minute to go. Yes, Michael Backlund. Empty net goal. Or no, power play goal. I thought it was an empty net goal. Looks like it was a power play goal. Could have been an empty net goal as well. We don't know. But a huge goal from Michael Backlund. And this game is over. The series is over. And for the first time in 18 years, the Calgary Flames are heading to the Western Conference Finals and will play for a chance to play in the Stanley Cup Finals. That is huge. As you can see, the Canucks outshooting us 41-27 in this one. Probably dominated us in this game, rightfully so. I mean, their playoff lives are on the line. We do finish them off here in 5. So we beat the Coyotes in 4, the Canucks in 5. But yeah, massive game there for the Flames. So let's just take a quick look here at our leaders. 2-point night once again for Hanifin. Assist there for Valimaki. Monahan. Giordano gets a massive goal, like I said, what could be his final run as a Calgary Flame. Johnny Gaudreau picks up a point. Again, quietly another 2-point night for Patrice Bergeron. Liking what I'm seeing, though. Massive goal by Backlund to ice it. Tkachuk with a huge goal once again. A lot of big players stepping up here. Binghamton, 9-5-1. Lights out performance by Jordan Binghamton, facing 41 shots. And that's all she wrote for the Vancouver Canucks. So really happy to see this one come to fruition for the Calgary Flames. And we do finish them off in 5, like I said. It wasn't easy. Again, I thought it was a lot closer than maybe the scores dictate. The first 2 games were in overtime. Actually, every game up until the last 2 were 1-goal games, it looks like. We did finish them off in the last couple with 4-2 wins. But huge performances by the Flames. Tkachuk now takes, or it looks like maybe he's tied with Domi for the lead in terms of points in the playoffs. Like I said, he's been really good so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is the time of year you want to see Matthew Tkachuk show up. Him, Max Domi, everybody that's contributing. Patrice Bergeron as well. We'll just take a really quick look here at our player stats. So, so 10 points. Actually, Lindholm's got 10 points. Johnny's got 10 points. And so there's actually a four-way player tie for the point lead. Tkachuk has the most goals of all of them with 4. Lindholm and Johnny Gaudreau 3. Domi 2. But yeah, 4 players tied with 10 points in 9 games. Not bad. Monahan's got exactly 9 and 9. But this is what you want to see. All your top players, like your top 6 forwards here, leading the way. So Monahan, Domi, Gaudreau, Lindholm, Tkachuk, all in our top 6. This is what you want to see. And then you want to see your support players there next. Guys like Dubé, Backlund, and especially Patrice Bergeron putting up 7, and 6 respectively through 9 games. Hanifin as well on the blue line. That's what you want to see, is a lot of support players, but your top players leading the way here for the Flames in this one. The guys that have been quiet is probably Andrew Mangiapane, most notably most notably, after such a good regular season. But that's okay as long as the other guys are picking it up. Mangiapane, has quietly 3 points in 9 games there. But yeah, it's all about as long as your top guys can perform here, that's all you can ask for right now, for those guys to lead the way. So yeah, that will do it. I was just trying to think there. That will do it. It looks like the Calgary Flames will play for a chance to book a ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. I guess we should see who our opponent is going to be in the Western Conference Finals. Like I said, oh my God, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm so excited. Like I said, again, this is the first time the Flames have been in this territory in 18 years. So this is new territory for the Calgary Flames. They have not been in a Western Conference Finals since 2004. So it's been a long time. A lot of these players weren't even in the NHL back then. I think the only ones that maybe were probably Mark Giordano. Actually, Mark Giordano wasn't even in the NHL in 2004. He was a year away. He was, I think, in the KHL in Russia somewhere. Patrice Bergeron, probably the only player that was in the NHL. Or was he even in the... Yeah, he was... Bergeron was in the NHL in 04, wasn't he? I'm trying to think here. I'm pretty sure Patrice Bergeron maybe was just in the NHL last time the Flames were in the Western Conference Finals. Either way, you can tell that literally it's been that long for the Calgary Flames. It's been a long time. Guys like Matthew Tkachuk were probably what? Just going off my head quickly here. Tkachuk was probably like 7 or 8 in 04 as well, and now he's leading us in points. So it's been that long. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's advance days here. Let's see who our opponent is. It looks like the Avalanche have a 3-2 series lead here on the Minnesota Wild. So let's see who we're going to face in the Western Conference Finals. All right, so nothing after one day there. Nothing after 2 days there. Shows our screen. All right, so still 3-2 Avalanche. Wouldn't be funny if it's Colorado again. All right, let's advance another day here. And it looks like the playoffs have been, or the second round has been complete. So let's see if it is the Colorado Avalanche, assuming it is. And it is, yeah, the Avalanche. And it will be the Rangers and the Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Calgary Flames and the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals. Oh my God. So the Flames played the Avalanche obviously in the first round back in 2019. Didn't end off on the right foot. Calgary was the top seed in the West, upset by the Avalanche in 5 games. That was back in 2019. What was that, like 4 years ago? 3 years ago, that we played the Avalanche there in the first round. Big upset by the Avalanche. Now we face them for the first time since then, and it's in the Western Conference Finals. You couldn't get a bigger series between Colorado and Calgary for sure. So we're going to have to find... That's not going to be easy. We're going to have to find a way to play the Avalanche. Just want to maybe quickly look at where they finished in terms of standings. We're going to do our breakdown of the Avalanche, their team stats and player stats and everything, obviously in the next episode. I just want to see where they finished here. In the Western Conference standings. Wow, they finished way down there. So ninth. Now, you remember that the Pacific was way better than Central this year. That's why all the Pacific teams are up there ahead of the Central. So, yeah, they just finished with 88 points, which is not that great. But they did claim the division title. I mean, that's how bad the Central was. Only 3 teams got in the Central, and they were all like the worst teams in the Western Conference that made it in the playoffs. Like, really, if it wasn't that stupid format, the Golden Knights, the Kings, and the Oilers should have all been in the playoffs before the Avalanche, Wild, and Stars. And then there would have been absolutely no Central teams in the playoffs, which would have been absolutely bizarre. The entire Pacific Division would have made it, and not the Central. But anyways, the Avalanche do luck out by being in a very weak division and winning their division. So yeah, they finished way down there. So we're clearly the better team on paper when you just look at where the two teams finished. But again, not going to be easy. They made themselves. They got through an easy couple rounds, you could maybe say, in the Central. Again, a very weak Central division. So again, we're favorited, but still not going to be easy. They got momentum, and again, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. This time of year, anything can happen. Again, we're probably heavy favorites, but again, look what happened in 2019. We were heavy favorites there, and they just upset us, almost swept us, took us out in 5 games. So we can't take them obviously lightly. It's not going to be an easy series, but literally it's the Colorado Avalanche standing in the way of us in a trip back to the Stanley Cup Finals, which is obviously our ultimate goal, to play for the chance to win a Stanley Cup. So it's going to be a massive episode coming up there in episode 25, I believe. This is episode 24, so that will do it. The Flames beat the Canucks in 5 games after beating the Coyotes in the first round in 4 games. Let's try and keep it going here against the Avalanche. Not going to be easy, but we need 8 more wins to win the elusive Stanley Cup. We need 4 of them to come against the Avalanche here in the next episode. So stay tuned. It's going to be a big Western Conference Finals. Like I said, first time in 18 years the Flames will play in the Western Conference Finals, and it's happening in episode 25.